Okay. Y'all gonna hear a little bit of lip smacking right now because holy crap. So why are we watching a live stream and not a video? Um, because my schedule went to absolute crap today and yesterday. So long story short, I was going to do a video on a ship review. The ship looked good. And then I find out later the ship is absolutely packed with mods. It falls into pieces when I load it in. I don't have the mods to look it up. So, didn't have time to really work on anything. So I said, screw it. We're, somebody is not knocking at my door right now. Hang on. It's UPS. Hang on. Let me get this. My God, hon, what have you bought? What did you buy this time? I shouldn't complain. My wife doesn't buy anything unless she needs it. That's just a very heavy box for what she normally gets. My one fear is that's going to be furniture I have to put together. Anywho, anywho, so that didn't work out. It didn't. My schedule just didn't work out this week. Um, Last week there was a medical emergency with the family. Everyone's fine right now. We're just adjusting. And then this week has been a nightmare because, and when I say nightmare, I don't mean this kid is a nightmare. It's just my nephew's coming, and he's a good kid, like super cool kid. And the and everyone's like, well, we want to do some stuff and have some stuff ready for him. So my mom and dad have a pool. They want to get the pool ready for him. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll come over and help. They're like, would you just come over and move a pump? Yeah, okay, I'll move a pump. Then a pump turns into setting up a cargo net for the kids to play on. Then it's putting up climbing equipment so the kids can get up on the deal, so they can climb up the side of the tree like squirrels and hop onto the deal. It's been a nightmare. But that's why we're here today. That's why we are here on the red ship. That is why today we are doing red ship survival. And every so often I may stop doing what I'm doing and I may eat some food because I'm also doing this on my lunch break. The ship I was wanting to do, like I said, it was so packed with mods it just fell apart when I pulled it out. And I was like, oh, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. So, yeah, let me hop in here and get a little oxygenated with my character. He's needing some oxygen while we sit and wait for all that stuff to power up. Sorry about that. I'll probably pop out every so often. I'm finishing off my lunch. And like I said, this is what I got. This is what we're doing today. Because, one, I promised you guys another live stream last week and could not deliver on it. And two, I have to get back into the mode of doing content of some type. And I'm pretty good at streaming anyway, so. Now, I do see one small flaw in our little ship, and that is we are going to need a camera. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we need a camera. According to this, we're going to need a steel plate to put this camera in with. So, actually, let's just grab the rest of this here. No, 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 no. I don't want to weld it up. I want to cut it down. Give me them steel plates. There we go. Now, there. Best part about this top-mounted camera, it is the best camera for a backup camera. Okay, let's go over here. I'll probably just have steel plates inside that ship right there. So hopefully things will work out. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this as I go on to do part 2 of this little survival run. Oh, I've got to stop slamming stuff in there and damn well damaging it. I'm going to blow that welder up before I even get a chance to use it. Let's drop on down here. Problem is I am moving too fast going forward. There we go. There we go. 4 at a time, baby. 4 at a time. Oh my god, that's so much faster. Ah, jeez. I think I have way too much forward thrust on this thing. Come on, that door ain't that tough. There we go. I don't know, I may have to take those big ion thrusters off and just put a couple of small thrusters on the back, because the side-to-side thrust that I've currently got is a lot more controllable than this, and this isn't built to be a combat unit either. I put the big thrusters on there so I'd have something I'd be able to move really good. All right, there we go. Let's take it down slightly. Let's go ahead and just ease on in here to this spot right about there. There we go. We are currently just ripping apart this side of the ship, still going on the same plan as before. And the plan right now is to take as much of this ship apart as possible before I have to actually go get some stuff. Because my plan is we are going to build some type of mining ship or some type of scout miner at the very least, so I can bring it back and just be easy with the controls here. I wish they would do a throttle system just like they do with the wheels. Is there a throttle system? Let me check and see if that's a thing. Is there a thrust? No, there's thrust override. That'd be something nice if I could minimize the amount of thrust I got just so I could keep up the power. Because right now, man, I am... and this is another thing. I need those big thrusters because of that. The amount of drift I've got in this thing because it's filling up. Let me check here real fast. Need to see how badly we're filling up here. Alright, we've still got... Not bad. We've still got about 3 medium cargo containers. Look at all this parts we've just ripped off here. That's great. We're ripping off all this stuff down. This is why making a grinding ship is such a great idea. It's always a good idea. Today's live stream, by the way, is being fueled by Doritos. I'm not being sponsored by them, but if you guys want to go thank them for helping me bring this stream, just go buy like a snack bag of it. Yeah, I'm glad I put the big thrusters on now. It's that side-to-side thrust I just really need to work on. Yes, yes, take it all down. Now the best part is with this giant grinder here, I can now salvage this ship in record time. This turns what would have been a crazy as F salvage. Actually, you know what? We need to test something here. We need to test. Ooh, now. Hold up. Hold up, big boy. Hold up. Let's go over here. We need to test something. I want to take this thruster out, and I want to see how the welder... just do some welding real quick. Let's take this joker down. There we go. We've taken out that entire cockpit, or that entire deal. Now, the next thing I want to do, which I don't really want to use this thing to do it with, but we may have to, is I want to... Let's hop out for a moment. Access this for a second. I'm going to do some fine-tune grinder work here. Okay. What I'd like to do... Shit. I'd like to mount an ion thruster to the bottom of this thing. Frick, I should probably just use the grinder on this thing. Hop in here and let's go ahead and check the inventory real fast. Ooh. Ooh, that thruster really filled everything up. Okay, I don't want to give up those thruster parts just yet, because I do want to put a thruster on this. Dang, I wish I could reset that thruster and set it back in there a little bit more. We may do that here in a minute. Because I could put that right up against this here, and it would be perfectly fine. We're going to yank this stuff out. And I'm going to make a spot for this new thruster to go. Because when we take... That's there for something else. I'm not sure what it's there for, but it's there for something else. We should be able... We should have everything hooked up here. There should be hookups going into that room there. And one of the reasons I'm doing this is I want to test out the function on this thing. I may have to take out the... well, maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. We're going to keep this set right there. Because we're going to need the medical room right there, and we're going to need an airtight seal and all that good stuff. Wait, why am I taking this stuff out? I don't know why I did that. Actually. this will be better. I don't have a... Crap, I don't have a gear point here for just straight up parts or structural integrity. Whatever I'm trying to say here. Alright, there we go. Okay, number 2. And then we'll flip these angle blocks over like that. That'll work out good. And then I need to set... I thought I was going to have to grind all that down, but I guess not. I want to set the new thruster here, where all this stuff is. And all this stuff does, it just connects both sides of the ship. That's it. It's functionally, it is pretty worthless. Okay, yeah, I need to take this out as well. There we go. Now, we're going to install a new thruster, number 3. We could install number 3, but usually for the big thrusters, big ships, this thruster looks the best. Okay, let's go up to here. Set that in position. Booyah. There we go. Now we got all that. I can just... Now we're going to take this little grinder deal here. We'll go to number 2. This is how we're getting the weight off. I'll get off to the side here because... Frick, that thing will turn on. Next thing I know, I'll be getting killed by it. There we go. I'm going to go down here a bit. There we go. This makes shit take so much faster. It's not taking as long now. Oh, we still got some stuff up here we gotta weld. There we go. Now, the other thing I want to do... Actually, I want to replace this thruster too. Oh, jeez. Not so fast, not so fast, not so fast, boys, not so fast. There we go. Take all this down. I'll throw a new one up. Those that are wondering right now, where's the video today? Again, I am very sorry. Scheduling did not work out the way I wanted it to. I'm going to back up here. No, not that button. I'm going to go over here with number 2 again. And we're going to install... can without there. That'll seat that a little bit further inside, I hope. Right up next to it. That's how I want it to go. There we go. That's exactly where I want it. Now, go number 2. Little trick in Space Engineers, for those of you who don't know. If you are having trouble with your thrusters, and you hit like the side-to-side thrust or some other thrust, it seems like you're weak in one area, sometimes the easiest thing you can do is just push the ship in a different direction. So if I'm having trouble going side to side, I can pick up my speed by just pushing back on the deal or rotating. You can see it kind of goes a little bit faster. When you're really heavy, this helps. I don't know why it does it, but it will just accelerate you. go, folks. Look at that. That bad boy looks amazing now. There we go. That's looking like a ship now. There we go. That looks great. Now, let's get the rest of the ship grinded down, because that's what we're doing today. We are playing Shipbreaker in Space Engineers, because I'm stranded out in the middle of nowhere. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have to go over and work on the other block here in a minute. Now, this is not the only thing I'm going to do in this live stream, hopefully. Like I said, hopefully this is not the only thing I'm going to do in this live stream. About here. There we go. Yeah, we're getting 4 at a time. That's what I love about having grinder ships, man. It's just, God. It takes about the same amount of time as probably an elite grinder would, but you are basically, maybe a little bit less. But it's just the fact that I can do multiple blocks at one time, which just makes it more economical. There's our ultimate true objective, is to get that. Oh, jeez. I'm going to break this thing before I even get to really use it that much. I don't know. I'm thinking an external camera on this thing just so I can see what the front of this is doing. There we go. Just wear that sucker down. This is what I like right here. Efficiency. When everything just comes together. My one disappointment is that in the future, there will be people who actually do this for a living. And they're going to say, this job sucks. And here I am, I'm playing a game. I'm like, this is so much fun. Everyone asks me why I like playing survival games like this. I can tell you exactly why. When you get to this point, when you get to that, you get to this point where you've got a grinding ship and you are becoming so much more efficient than you were before. I'll show you all some outside shots of this baby. Just working. Now, I honestly think I probably should have put 2 grinders on this thing. And I probably could have gotten away with only 1 set of ion thrusters. In other words, reconfigured this thing to where only one large ion thruster would be necessary. But unfortunately, that's not what happened here. That's not how this went. Now, if I have, looking at it like this, I've never noticed this before, but if I were to build a grinder ship, I would probably build the grinding deals several, like almost 3 blocks apart on the small ship, because if I were to do that, one ship, this small vessel could simply take out about 8 blocks at a time. Now I'm looking at this and I'm seeing the inefficiencies of this thing already. There, see what I was talking about before? If you've got an issue about speed or getting that thrust going. There we go. That's it. Alright, let's check our inventory real quick. Yeah, we are filling up cargo containers rather quickly. I'm going to take just 1 second. I got to go take a piss real fast. Actually, before we do anything, let's get off of this thing. And let's go inside the ship and chill for a minute. Because at some point I'm going to have to recharge that entire, or reset that deal. And I'm going to have to do some building on the small ship. We're going to have to put some greebling and stuff like that. So until then, here is everything we're working on a nice sunset. Until I get back. Hey, everybody's still here. Nice. Sorry about that. Like I said, this is one of those streams I'm just not prepared for today. But I was thinking, I can do a stream. That'll work out. It'll work perfectly. Okay, let a little bit of oxygen out of here. That's another thing we're going to worry about. We're going to have to worry about hydrogen at some point. Head back over here to the ship we have. And we're down here. I think we're going to just work on this a bit. And then eventually, we're going to take the crab over there. We're going to test some systems out. Because I'm going to have to... We're getting heavier. Plus also, we're going to have to recharge the crab for a minute. This is the crab 1. And I already see things that we could do differently. We have way too much forward, reverse, and downward, or no, upward thrust, I think, for the ship, for what it has to do. And if I did a large cargo container, I think we could have done a lot better. I will probably fix that in the future. Right now... Ooh, boy. Here we go. While that is coming to a stop, and or arresting itself. Frick. Got in the wrong area. Let's go to 5. Take this baby down. Go forward a bit. Down again. And of course, I can see exactly where the connector's at. Now, there's a trick to this. Oh, this is a problem with backup cameras, man. That reverse stuff. Inverted controls, inverted controls. And then 3, 4, and hop out of here. Hide all the empty. Go to large cargo container. And just start dumping stuff. There we go. The ship is now fully set. And if I'm looking at it correctly, we could just immediately start going back out. But I kind of want to put some stuff on this thing. Put something there. Maybe something like that. And then number 3 here. That's what we'll... Oh, no, 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 not like that, not like that, not like that. No, 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 no. Okay. Of course, I don't know how this is going to work exactly. Hoping I can put like a little bit of armor on this thing. That would help. We'll do that. Because why not? Yeah, blah, 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 blah. See, now that's turning into something cool right there. Now, the next question is... how are we going to do this? Back up to there. I don't know if this is how I want everything to go on. I may want to do something a little different later. I'm not sure. We'll just have to see. That's why it's always good to plan this stuff out first, like so. And then figure out whether or not you want to commit to that at this particular moment. Sometimes things don't always work out. Sometimes I might put this up there and I might find something I want to do that's a little different. Alright, hopping down here. Throwing that on. Oh, can't put one there, so that's just going to have to be an open spot. Okay. And I think there's a bit of a wraparound I could do just to give this thing a more industrial look. And that may be doable. That may be doable. So, and here's something I'm also thinking. Let's go to 6. Which will be these greeble blocks. Which I love these blocks. They're so cool. And hear me out. Just hear me out. Check that. Check that out on there. And I think I can put one more right here. That'll go across. And that'll just give us a nice industrial look. It'll just make it look like an industrial sized ship. So then I just got to do the same tactical weirdness over here that I did over there. Or not even tactical, it's just weirdness. And I think what I want to do is I want to cut these blocks out entirely. And then replace them. And this is another trick. Let me show you a trick here. You'll notice I've got one toolbar and I've got this one here. You'll see I'm switching between 9 and 1. I always usually keep my stuff on 1, but sometimes you'll see me swap when I'm wanting to put like skins on things and I'm not putting like system blocks, I'm putting skins on. What I'll do is I just push back on my taskbar switch and I've got all my skin blocks right here on this one taskbar. And then I can swap back and forth. So I can just go right to my tools if I need them. So now number 6, again, we're going to put that in. This one. And that one. And there we go. We've got a nice industrial looking ship. Looks like it's being held together with some heavy beam blocks at the moment. And I'll probably wrap this around as well. Once again. This way I'm not bashing through like 7 or 8 different systems just to get to, or 7 or 8 different blocks just to get to one block. I just have that block right there where I need it. Alright, number 6. There. And how do we do this? We put these blocks in. That's what I'm going to do right here. And I'm just going to add these guys in first. Like so. We're then going to add this right here, like so. And you can see, Greeble-wise, it's becoming a Greebly looking ship now. Especially after I weld it all up. It'll look amazing. Now for this part here, I'm going to put this long block. Because that just works right there. Like Todd Howard says, it just works. I think I'll do this over here as well. About that close, if I could touch something there, and I really can't. There we go there. Now I just have to grind this stuff down. There we go. We'll grind all that down. Go back to 6 again. Flip that. And ta-da. Now check that side of the ship out. That looks cool. Okay, that's looking cool right there. I need to do a few more things. Or add a few more blocks here. That will help. I just give us that finalized look. And then I'm going to try and weld all this stuff up. Now look at that. I could probably do something about this right here. This block here. No. That's not going to work. We're not getting the aesthetic of this being reinforcement. We'll go back here. I'm going to take number 2. I'm going to go up to this block. Because that'll give us a nice look. But at the same time, at this point in time, I wish I had a faster welder.
Energy low.
Oh yeah, I know. Hang on. Yeah, I don't like that either. We're gonna have to work, because See, we're getting this nice shape going on with it. It's turning into this great, shapely looking ship. And I don't like that shape, that just straight bar across. And this is all part of doing this type of stuff. I'm gonna hop in and just let this thing work. Why am I not repairing oxygen on this? My disconnecting that one shouldn't have had an effect. Hold on. Need to know something. I don't know of anything going to that. Okay, yeah, my oxygen's coming back on. My oxygen's getting low, actually. Crap, we need some ice. We need ice. Oh boy. I may be going to get some ice. That's an issue. That's going to be an issue because I'm going to start running out of hydrogen. I'm going to real quick, and I'm going to start running out of oxygen. I'm going to have to get some ice. That is going to create an issue here. Huh. As the villagers in Minecraft say. I may have to build a small mining vessel. I may have to pick an asteroid at random here and just tank up on some stuff and just go get a little bit of ice, because that's what I'm probably going to have to do for some hydrogen. I've got a full hydrogen bottle. Let's grab all this stuff, throw it in there. I got a full hydrogen. Do I have ice in this thing? I would think I'd have ice somewhere. Oh, we've got all these bottles. Oh crap, I didn't know all those were there. But I still want some ice. We're going to do this. I'm going to take a risk. That is looking pretty icy looking. I really need like a small short range snub fighter that I can go find stuff and then come back. That looks like ice. We're just going to take a risk. We're going to take a risk. We're going to fly out here. We got full tanks. I'm just going to glide in. That's what we're going to do. We're going to glide in, chat. Because that looks like it looks icy. I could be wrong. It looks like an ice asteroid. If it's not, I'm pretty sure I'm going to run some ice somewhere. And that's what we need. We just need a little bit of ice. Throw it into the system. Build up the oxygen tanks a little bit. Actually, I probably won't even throw it in there. I think I'm going to throw it into the H2O2 generator inside of the small ship. Because that sounds like a better use of my equipment. And that looks like a stone asteroid. Crap. Well, that didn't work out. Why do you look so dang shiny from a distance? Oh well. Let's check these asteroids out here. I'm already out here. See what I can find. Maybe there's some ice on this asteroid. Maybe there isn't. What's that? That looks good. That looks promising. Yes! Yes. Come on, baby. Give me the ice. I'll be back over here with a drill ship just to mine you. There we go. We got a full tank of ice. All right, we know where ice is. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop a GPS, new from current position. And we're going to say this is ice. And we have this one now. We know where ice is. And what's back there? Okay, yeah, ice is there. I just gotta get back to the beacon where my ship is. Things are working. It's working, chat. See, I told you that was a shiny look. It was an icy looking asteroid. It wasn't the asteroid I thought, but there was ice there. So we're doing good. We're doing great. Now, I'm hoping that's my beacon and it's not something else, and I'm going to get screwed out of a option. I don't know, chat. Here's a question I have for the chat right now. If we make a miner, should we do single drill or double drill? And if I do double drill, should I put a large cargo container on it or a small or a medium cargo containers? Because I want to be able to go in, get the equipment we need, and get it back as swiftly as possible. And I think a large cargo containers will get us the most stuff, but then we're gonna have to manage the weight, and that's gonna be a nightmare to have to manage. Right now, I'm just drifting. And stop. I'm going to hop in here because my pockets are full of ice. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into the inventory here. My ship. H2O2 generator. Yes. Tell me it's working. Yes! I have full hydrogen now. I have hydrogen. I have power. Yes. All right. That's awesome. There we go. All right. Let's go back here. Take all these stuff that I normally have. And I'm going to go ahead. Let me check real quick. Make sure nothing stupid's happening. All right, so I've got more welding to do. This here I'm going to modify. No, that'll make it look too smooth. I was thinking about doing something, but I was gonna try and make this kind of match up, but it'll make it look too smooth. And I kind of want this pre-industrial look going on. We've got a great look going on here, chat. It's great. It's amazing. And y'all notice I'm referring to y'all as chat now because I'm like, just going in there and saying you guys just sounds so impersonal. At least now there's a name. When I say chat, y'all can say yes. He's talking to us. He's talking to us. He's talking to the masses. He's talking to the people. Badger's talking to the people at this moment. All right. Let me go across here. There we go. Look at that. And then we'll add some stuff in there just to give it a little bit more of an industrial look. But it'll be awesome looking, I promise. Amazing what a little bit of skin will do for something. almost like industrial builds as much as I like military builds on Space Engineers, because the thing about military builds is you've got to worry about... Oh, I didn't get that one welded. You have to worry about armor, structural integrity, all that stuff, and it starts to rob. It's kind of like how some people in aviation really hate stealth technology. I know everyone's like, why would they hate stealth technology? And I asked a dude this one time who was an aviator, and he said, because, Badger, it is what we call entropy. Jack Dawes, what this? Oh, it's a, I'm doing a live stream today because I pulled out a ship and my time got really tight. I was like, no, I got my ship done. I was going to review a ship and pulled it out, and the entire ship, when I pulled it out, just fell apart. Once I loaded it in, I didn't realize how many mods it had. And I was like, this is not going to go over well, because a lot of the community doesn't like mods. I was like, this is not going to go over well, Jagdaws. And I was like, oh, this is disappointing. So I was like, okay, I'm crunched for time. What can I do? It was 12:30 in the morning, and I said, you know what? Everyone really likes... People have actually come back and said, stream again. That they want more streams during the week. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I was going to give a stream last week. Screw it. I'm going to do a stream today. We're going to do more Red Ship Survival. That's what's happening here. This is part 2 of Red Ship Survival, ladies and gentlemen. So, anyway, what's this? This is the grinder ship. I'm making it more beefier. For... obvious reasons, or not obvious reasons. It's going to be a little bit beefier ship, so we're doing that. I may replace this here. I may replace that, and I may put something else right here. That being said, let's pull out the welder and weld some stuff up. Also, Jackdaws, if you've missed, we have been working on removing this thing. We removed a lot of stuff from it. And then I have rebuilt the thrusters down here for the main body of the ships. We have 2 massive ion thrusters going on right now. It's amazing. We have 2 massive ion thrusters here. I'm going to take this ion thruster off, and I believe we have another ion thruster here. And when we get the front end of the ship built, I'm going to slap those 2 forward thrusters right here, and then we'll figure out side to side and up and down thrust. We've got 1 large ion thruster that can be used for downward thrust, but I also need to figure out how I'm going to put everything else together. And then we're going to repaint this ship. We're going to repaint the ship, and I've got the color for it already. I'm going to use new made jet black on the top of the ship, shiny black, and then for the accent colors, we're going to use gold. Not yellow gold. We're going to use like actual gold, where it will shine when people see it. It's going to be an awesome ship because we're going to escape. We're going to escape in style, man. It's going to look like... it's going to look amazing. I would say what we're going to look like, but right now, all I'm doing is I'm just going in here. I'm putting all this stuff together, and we're just trying to make this ship work at the moment. So, let me see here. Let me go back. Number 2 here. I've got a trick to this. We'll go to number 5, I believe. Bingo. No, 3. We'll do 3. Then I can create that look right there. Yeah, I was basically hurting for time today, and it's been wild this week. These last 2 weeks have just... actually, no, last 3 or 4 weeks have been downright insane dealing with stuff. I spent Fuck. I think I spent last week in the hospital. It wasn't me in the hospital either. So don't y'all freak out. I wasn't in the hospital. My wife was in the hospital. She's had minor health complications, stress related, I guess would be the best way I could say it. This here, I want to remove this. I want to do over there what I did there. There we go. I'll leave this here like it is. This here, I want to do like I did there because it makes it look more beefier. But yeah, she's fine. She had just a few, just some minor issues that when we got done, we got out and learning some new things about her, basically. So, nothing bad. She just had a little bit of a health complication based on stress, and so we're having to work with keeping the stress low, which is difficult because she is doing college and all that good stuff. So it's not easy, and she's already committed to classes this summer. And despite me telling her, I think you should take the time off, she's like, no. She's like, I'm just going to get this done and get it over with. She is a trooper. And yeah, I ended up getting stuck at a hospital worrying about her the whole time. I'm already at low energy? Really? We'll hop inside the ship here and just chill for a bit. But yeah, me and her ended up at a hospital, uh, freaking out a bit with her, and then everything that ended up coming off. It's really a minor thing. To give y'all an idea, she kind of went through some kind of a bad thing. She don't want me to talk about it too much, so I'm not gonna say too much about it. She's like, it's embarrassing to her. To me, I'm like, well, we know what it is. I can tell y'all what it's not. It's not cancer. So before anyone sits there and gets a GoFundMe going for Badger's wife, just remember it's not cancer. Okay, y'all can chill. That was the thing I enjoyed finding out was, oh, thank God, it's not cancer, but it is something else. It is something that she's got a health issue, and we're just gonna have to take it one day at a time, and eventually we'll figure it out and we'll fix it. So it's nothing. It's not life threatening. I'll put it like this. I don't want to worry you guys. That's the thing that I'm worried about right now. Is I'm going to tell y'all something and y'all are going to be like, oh my gosh, do we need to start, like I said, somebody will think I need to start a GoFundMe for Badger's wife. It's like, no, don't. It's fine. It's fine. Really, it's fine. It is nothing really to worry about. Like we've already gone through all of the hell. Like anytime you have any kind of major health complication, and like I said, this was stress related, and the whole time we're sitting there dealing with it, we're like, oh God, is it cancer? Is it cancer? Is it cancer? Is it cancer? It's not cancer. So that was the best part. That if I had to have any news, and I hate to sound like Shepard Smith when the hurricane hit over there in Florida, but if there was any news to be had, this was the best news to have right here. Was it's not cancer, and that's a good thing because my wife's family, that's a thing she has to worry about is cancer, because that runs in her family. And so she was like, she's sitting there like a cat on ice. I'm sitting there just half exhausted. Also love my cousin to death because he comes along and he goes, wait, what is happening? Oh, I'm out of steel. That's the problem. I'm out of steel. I said, look at that. I was like, what in the world? Why am I running out of stuff? So yeah, um, my cousin, thank God for him. He's like, are you all right? And I'm like, no, because couches in hospitals suck. And I said, I am not getting good sleep while I'm waiting because we were there for days doing. I mean, she was doing MRIs and all that, and we're both worrying about whether this is going to be a nightmare scenario. The whole time I'm there, this is how bad it gets. The whole time I'm there, my wife is talking about how she doesn't do enough with the kid, and we need to do more with the kid. And I'm like, you need to stop thinking that because we don't even know what the problem is yet. And she just starts freaking out the whole time. And I said, all right, look, regardless of what happens, I said, we'll do some stuff with the kid. Let me take that off there for a minute. And she was just like I said, nothing, nothing like life threatening. We're sitting there worrying about it because, like I said, her family, there's some cancer in her family. She's worrying about that. And she's like, I don't have this much time the whole time. Then they come back and they're like, hey, it's not cancer. And we're like, oh, thank God. You know, you always breathe that sigh of relief. Let me look here over this. It's not fun. Elijah Postal. Hello, Badger. What's going on? Well, I tell you what's not going on is I'm not reviewing a ship right now. And, yeah, long story short, I was going to review a ship and it didn't work out. Ship was too mod heavy, and I said, screw it. We're not going to do a mod heavy ship. Usually if I do ships with mods, there's a limit to how many are in there. So you guys can take that and do something with it. And I said, we're not going to do a mod heavy ship. I'm just going to, I have to do something. So we're doing some live streaming. Red Ship Survival, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are once again. Just in the middle of space. I mean, seriously, I need a shirt that says I'd rather be in space right now. Have a space engineer working on a busted ship. This is what I'd rather do instead of working. I think we all agree with that. There's a lot of good things about being out in space. Yeah, it's lonely. Yeah, it's lonely. No, sad boy noises. Yeah, don't worry about her. Don't worry. She's been getting on to me because she's actually gotten on to me several times for worrying about her too much. She goes, no. She said, I'm not broken. She's like, I don't have cancer. It just caused some weird stuff to happen. And we went up there because it kind of looked like stroke symptoms. That was just me being cautious because I looked at her and I said, babe, this looks like stroke symptoms. And she's like, oh, no, it's not. I said, you're forgetting things. She started to forget a few things. And it turned out it was stress related. So it's not something that, it's just, we have to do some lifestyle changes, maybe a few dietary changes. But I mean, she was low on, she's low on vitamin D. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, okay, you've been killing yourself. And that's the thing. That's the thing. Cautionary tale, take some time off, people. Take some time off. Fuck. Life is too short to sit there and kill yourself. And she's looking at this. I'm like, you're going to have to, we've done decided we're going to do some exercising. Turns out her mental health is being affected by her physical health, and she kind of neglected her physical health in favor of college. That's just who she is. Here's the thing. I have the best wife in the world because she'll flat out kill herself for the family. She will. I have to watch her at times. I have to get on to her at times because I'm like, babe, you gotta take a step back. She's like, no, if it's my kid's birthday, she'll kill herself trying to figure out how to help that kid's birthday work. I have a wife that loves her family so much. I have to rein her in because she's like a bloodhound that'll just run herself to death. You can't ask for a better wife than that. Okay, I pray things will get better for you and your family, man. Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you. That is the best thing you can do right now for us because I'm not in control of the situation. God's in control of the situation. And this is one of the things I tell people a lot of times. The purpose of having prayer is not so you can get things. You can get things. Okay, God says you have not because you ask not. But one of the things about prayer is like needing a superhero. You don't have a superhero for common things. Oh, I stubbed my toe. Oh, this person needs a heart surgery. No, we don't have superheroes who are heart surgeons. We have superheroes for when you're hanging off the side of a building and suddenly the brick you're hanging onto gives way. And then that's when you need a superhero. For the impossible stuff, you're not in control. And for the stuff that's there, like this, I'm not in control of. The whole time and the worst part about being a guy, I'm gonna tell some chicks this. Here's some guy advice to chicks out there. The hardest thing for your man to do is to sit there in a situation that he has no control over. Because I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a bear. I don't care if it's a lion. I don't care if it's an entire mob of people. If I have two hands and I can stay on my feet, I can usually punch my way through a problem. If not, I can put up enough of a fight that everyone else can get away. When it comes to medical, you can't punch it out. You're not Goku going around there challenging. Oh, what's the Goku meme? I hear you have cancer. Was it like, I hear you have cancer. Let me take a shot at it. Like, you can't Goku that shit. You can't just punch it. And that's the hardest part about being a guy, is sitting there watching your family members go through something and you just can't knock it out. It's like, if it was a guy, if it was a bear, like if it's a full grown grizzly bear, I have a better chance of knocking that thing out than I do cancer. I do. And I would much rather fight a grizzly bear for my wife than watch her suffer through something. FYI, she doesn't have cancer, folks. Like I said, it's stress related. She just kind of she ran herself into the ground basically, and now we're having to get a hold of some stuff and say, hey, okay, you're gonna have to chill a bit. So she's fine. Just pray that she gets okay. Jack Dawes, damn, Jack Dawes, rare one. Elijah Postel, that's right, man. Yes, it is. That is the hardest thing. Like, you ever wonder, and that's why I say society is the hardest, civilized society is the hardest thing for a real man to live through. Because there are people that walk through society that want to say stupid stuff to you. And there's a line from Conan the Barbarian. I believe it's Tower of the Elephant, where a guy insults Conan, and it doesn't tell you what the insult is, but it's bad. He doesn't insult you. Robert E. Howard never tells you what the insult is. And this is the best part about writing. If you're going to write something, don't tell people what you're saying. Just have them insinuate. In there, the gist of the line is, the man was like flippant with his words, as most civilized men were, not realizing that in less civilized, some way it was said. Let me look it up here. Let me look it up. It is one of the best lines in all of writing. Because I'm going to have to actually look this up. I'm starting to run out of fuel here real quick. Let me run over here and just power up while I'm waiting for it. See if I can find it. Because it's one of the best lines in there. I'm trying to remember what it was, and I can't. It's been so long since I read it. God, why can't I find that effing quote? It was something to the effect of, the way the civilized man speaks will get him killed in the uncivilized world, is basically what it means. No, wait, maybe I can find it here. Nope, not there. Yeah, if you guys want to know what it is at the beginning of Conan the Barbarian. It's the beginning of Tower of the Elephant. And in there, it is like one of the very first. If you want to know what it is, and you're really curious, look up Cybrarian Tower of the Elephant. It's an audiobook on YouTube, and whew, there it goes. I have been held to standards. I have watched others not be held to. I have been punished for not knowing what no one would tell me. I have been reasonable when I should have been unreasonable. Yeah, this is the life of a YouTuber right here dealing with like Jack Dawes sitting here. He's hitting every YouTuber in the fields right now because that's what life on YouTube is like. Dealing with YouTube and their weird as F policies. I don't think I'm going to do much to the bottom of this thing. I kind of like it the way it is. I may put some blocks over here, but that'd be about it. Yeah, I'm going to leave it like it is. I have to do the other side like this. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. So let's see if I can't just grab some stuff and just start throwing things on as they're intended to be on here. Let's do that. Do that and that. And then, let's see, how's that going in there? Right about there. But yeah, basically the line in there is I think it's like he spoke like a civilized man, not knowing that his words would get his skull caved in, or not knowing that his words could get his skull caved in. It's a very good line. I can't even remember it. But like I said, if you wanna actually hear it, you wanna actually read it, Tower of the Elephant is probably one of the best Robert E. Howard books ever, and you will start, and you will want to start reading more Conan over it because of the way everything is written. Okay, you put this stuff on. I know how that's going to have to go over there, so we'll have to put everything in like that. I would prefer to live in the most lawless environment possible for one simple reason: taxes. I can tell you that's the reason I would do it. I've said multiple times. Here's the thing: I live in an area where you have a criminal element, and it's pretty easy to deal with. I'm telling you. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, what? How do you deal with the psychos? And it's like it's pretty simple, really. You just don't fuck with them. It is the simplest option in the world. Is I don't screw with them, therefore they don't screw with me. Like you can live with the Bloods and the Crips around you. It's like you both come to the understanding of I'm doing my thing, you're doing your thing, we don't care. If you walk around the corner and see a drug deal and they look at you, you just wave hi. Hey guys, nice going. Go the other way. Or or say to the dude, hey, how much is that? Yeah, I may come back and get some sometime. Somebody just pulled into my house for a second here. Let's see what's going on. Oh, mail lady. Damn, she's late today. I actually have a. If someone comes in my house at about this time of the day, the way it's situated, sunlight reflects off their windshield and it just like shines the whole house. I know somebody's here. Very hard to sneak up on Badger in his own in his own turf, folks. It's very hard to do. Let's look here. Yeah, like I said, it's you can deal with criminals a lot easier than you can most other people. And that's sad, but it is just the truth. Let's see here. How did I put that on? Oh, yeah, we put that there. This is just going to look like a big, giant ass clamp. That's what I want it to look like. The old saying, don't want none, won't be none. Don't start none, won't be none. Probably the best advice anyone could possibly get for a vast majority of the situations you could find yourself in. It's never like in Hollywood. I'll tell you that much. Because I have dealt with people on the wrong side of the law. It's not like Hollywood. If they think you're trying to take something from them, yeah, you're in trouble. But it's never the mindset of Hollywood. Most of the guys that are doing that stuff, they're businessmen. They're just in the wrong business. Or actually, no, I take that back. They're not in the wrong business. They're in a business that other people don't want them to be involved in. And because of that, they run afoul of the law. It's like now in the state of Missouri. 10 years ago, anyone who ran marijuana was a felon. Okay? Now they're legitimate businessmen because the laws have changed. That's what makes the big difference now. And so there are people that watch all that go down. They're like, oh, they see Hollywood and they think that's how it goes down. No, most of them guys, they're legitimate businessmen. Unless, and what makes them dangerous is sitting there thinking, is them thinking, hey, I think you're going to get me in trouble, and I don't want to go. I don't want to go to jail because I'm just trying. I'm trying to make some money. I've been far too reasonable in my life, Jack Dawes. I have a problem though. I'm socially borked. I will always say something I shouldn't to sensitive people, especially street people. Yeah. Uh, most of the time, most of the time, I can tell you, it's just mutual respect goes like a long way, man. With anyone, I'm telling you, anybody, it can go a long way. Just a little mutual respect. That's all you got to give sometimes. That's why I said it's kind of dumb the way Hollywood kind of projects all that stuff. They're like, oh, these people are like crazy psychos, and 9 times out of 10, they just need a bad guy. That's what they want. They want a bad guy, but they don't know how to properly give you a bad guy. It's like nowadays, they can't properly give you bad guys like they used to. Okay, we're gonna put all these on here next. And being socially awkward, that's not a bad thing. Trust me. It could be worse. It could be far worse. You could be like me right now and not have any steel plates left in the middle of space and have to go back and get more of them. Because not having the resources you need, that's a tragedy. But no, in all seriousness, the the thing about dealing with people who are on the wrong side of the law is if they understand that you know how things are working, like the whole scene in Hollywood where the guys go, uh, they try to negotiate and the bad guys just don't, or the guys that they're up against, unless you are dealing with an absolute psycho, that's not going to happen. You're gonna look at them, you're gonna go, I don't care, and you're gonna go on. Like I have a friend of mine. I usually tell this story. Back before marijuana was legal, he caught somebody on the road, just high as a kite, and he's a police officer. So I mean, you're in a bad situation. Cop pulls you over. He just looks at the guy. The guy's starting to get freaked out, and he looks at him. And he says, "Look, I don't want you on the road, and I don't want you hurting yourself. So here's what we're gonna do. If you will call someone to come get you, and you won't drive this car, I will let you go." And the guy goes, "Seriously?" He goes, "Yes." He said, "But it's an automatic felony if I get." He said, "It'd be an automatic felony if you just turn me in." He goes, "Yeah, I know. I don't care." That was the thing. He was tired of seeing people get pulled over for something that was relatively harmless. And that's what he said. He said 9 times out of 10, he said, I have yet to meet a stoner. He said that was dangerous if somebody didn't that somebody didn't have to push to be dangerous. He said that was the thing. So he wouldn't push you if you had like pot in your car or anything like that. He was just like, okay, yeah, I don't want you driving, so you just get somebody to come get you, and you can go back home, and you can come back and get this vehicle later, and I won't give you a ticket. And the guy was like, "Wow, that's pretty white of you, man." He goes, "Yeah. Sometimes it's just a little bit of understanding. Sometimes it doesn't work. Not everyone's the same person." But like he said, I could take this guy, I could ruin his life. He said, but what I want him to do is I want him to stop. He said, I don't want him to be driving down the road smoking pot. He said that inebriates him. it messes him up. It messes everybody else up. He said it runs the it runs the what am I saying? It runs risks for everybody on the road. If he's just not taking the risk, and he knows, well, you know, I can probably just smoke it at home and nothing will happen. He said if I can get him to do that, that's perfectly fine. And that's what he does. That's what he would do. And that was back when he worked at a different place. Now he's a police officer. Actually, he's a police officer in my hometown. Actually, there we go. We'll do that. Let me see what Jackdaw's saying here. When someone does the toughness check on me, the only thing I'm not finishing that one. I don't communicate in toughness check culture. I solve the question. Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to solve the question. You got to. Actually, it's not the question. You just have to get the solution to the question. It's one of two things usually. But yeah, like I said, yeah, it's not a toughness thing. It's just I want to get through life. You reach a point after your 20s where you're sitting there and you're like, I want to get home. I have too much to do to deal with this crap. And sometimes people don't care. Sometimes they want you to deal with their crap, and it's like, okay, man, if that's how you feel. Yeah, most of the time it's just better off just to get through something and just not even mess with someone. If they want to be stupid, like Jocko, I think it's Jocko. You know, say that guy's like a Navy SEAL. He said, if somebody's starting crap, I'm going to go to the other side of the street. Not because I'm afraid of you, but because really I don't want to deal with you at the moment. Why should I have to deal with that? Let's see. What's the next move here? Number 3, I believe. Yeah, this is part of the whole stream right now, as we've been working on this bad boy. And it's worked beautifully so far. As simplistic as the design is, it has worked beautifully. I believe that's what was there. Yes. I think I've got everything hooked up there. I just got to weld it all up now. Now, if I just had a welding ship for my welding ship, that'd be cool. I have a solution for this little crevice right here. That's what we'll, and there's some stuff that'll go into that. There we go. It's starting to look good. It's starting to look good. I need to paint this whole MF'er black. Get that golden wasp body going on. I don't, Jack does. I don't back any blue for a simple reason. They will punish me for defending myself. I consider a monopoly on force under law to be an utter violation. Yeah, state of Missouri, you ought to look up state of Missouri. Missourians take guns to Capitol sometime. Because that is some... That... Everyone goes, oh, January 6th. I'm like, yeah, this is a disagreement between the government and the citizenry in Missouri. And it gets way more terrifying here. And everyone just looks at you like... Because I tell people that. I'm like... They're like, oh, well, at least they didn't find any guns at the whole Capitol thing. And I'm like, buddy, that is not the worst case scenario. And that does happen here. Like, they will go in there and start telling them, if you do this, bad things will happen. And the government here has a very healthy fear of the people. Which is nice. I will tell you, that is nice to have. Because you always get this idiot that that wants to be like a male Karen or an actual Karen that somehow gets power, and they think, well, I'm going to do this because I know better than everyone else. And they just need to see everyone else not liking their crap. But yeah, there was they tried to institute, I think it was assault weapons ban in the state of Missouri once. This is like right after the whole J6 thing that happened. And people showed up. They were not happy. Now, legally, here's the thing. Legally, in the state of Missouri, you can take a firearm into the Capitol building. So that creates a whole lot of fun stuff right there. That creates a few instances where everyone's like, okay, why are we doing this again? It's like, well, because the people need the right to tell you to fuck off. Basically, that's what it comes down to. It's like you can have a nice day or you can meet whatever you worship, pal. What do you plan on naming it? What, the big ship or the welder? The welding grinding ship, I'm calling it the Crab for now. Crab Mark 1. So you're saying I should move to Missouri? No, I'm not saying you should move to Missouri. I'm saying you should probably pick a state. That's the beauty of this country. You can pick a state where you feel comfortable at. That's the best thing about this whole country. If you feel comfortable where you're at, you can stay wherever you are. The thing about Missouri is this is something I'm amazed so many MGTOW people, men going their own way after divorce court, have not discovered Missouri yet. Because state of Missouri, so if y'all have seen the Dave Chappelle special on Netflix, there's a joke in there where he talks about, if you have a right, ladies, if you have a right to kill it, I have a right to abandon it. Missouri has not only outright banned abortion, okay? They turned around and said, yeah, the man has the right to abandon. So there's a rule on the books that says if for any reason the father of a child wants to give up his visitation rights, then he is no longer obligated to pay child support. Which, I'm sitting there waiting for MGTOW to discover this. Then a bunch of driven young men are going to be trying to figure out how to get to the state at that point. Because that is just one of those wild things. Because it come down to guys started just suing their spouses. And the state finally said, okay, why are we suing spouses? And one of the reasons that law got into place was a guy was in a fight with his old lady. And when he went to get visitation rights, she kept going outside and getting in the way of his visitation with his kids. And look, if I understand he may be an asshole, but if he's going to be there for the kids, he's going to try and be a dad, and he wants to do it, he deserves to see those kids. What she'd do is she'd jump in the car with the kids, and then she'd tell him he was going to stay there while she just rant and raved at him. And this is what he said. He had video of it, where she would hop in the car, rant and rave at him, and he said, look, I need to leave. I'm losing time with my kids. Can I have my time with my kids? And she goes, no. And if you move this car 1 inch, I'll have you arrested for kidnapping. And when asked by the judge, this is how dumb this woman was. She turned around and the judge asked her why you're doing this. And she literally says, well, I don't want him in my life anymore. He's just a deadbeat. I just want him to pay for the child support and that be it. He shouldn't have a right to see his kids. And the judge ruled, if he's paying for the kids, he has a right to see them. And if the man stops paying for the kids, then he's not obligated to pay child support anymore. And that fixed a whole lot of issues. I know this because my cousin did the same thing to his ex. Her and her grandmother pulled the same crap. He turned around, told the judge he said, well, I'm going to go get rid of my visitation rights. Didn't tell her what would happen. And then she called him like a month later, pissed to high heaven because she wasn't getting a check. She called the police, and the police looked through it, and they come back and they go, yeah, He's given up his visitation rights. There's no way we can go get him now. And in the state of Missouri, if you miss a child support payment, they can't put you in jail. They just go garnish your wage. That's all they do. Because the way the state was going, they put a guy in jail for not paying child support. Then he would, by the time he got out, he had a bunch of back payments. And because he couldn't pay all of them at once because he'd lost his job and everything, well, he went right back into jail. And so a couple of guys in prison, they finally got some smart guys in there. And the smart ones turned around and said, hey, we're going to sue the state of Missouri. And they're like, wait, why are you suing us all of a sudden? They go, because you're putting us in prison and then you're putting us back in prison when we can't pay the back child support, when we ain't got a job, because it takes you like a month. On like minimum, it would take a guy a month to get back on his feet from being in prison. Minimum. I'm saying that guy is highly motivated and he has connections. It's going to take almost a full month for him to get, because he's got to get a car, he's got to get a place to live, he's got to get utilities hooked up. There's all this stuff you have to get set up. You have to set up a bank account, especially if your business, especially if the business wants to electronically pay you. In other words, just put the money in your account and then just send you a 401k at the end, or a W-2 at the end of the year. So that is one of those major things that people don't ever think about. And so, state of Missouri, women screwed around long enough, it kind of pissed some guys off, and they said, all right, you know what? The government was like, we're gonna give some men some rights. So, so you're saying that? Okay, I love this one. So you're saying that so you're saying I should move to Missouri, Jack Dawes, after I explained all this. So you're saying that I'm moving to Missouri. If you want, man. I mean, if you want. Let me tell you something. The state is poor. There is a bit of corruption in the state. You'll have to worry about that. But other than that, it's kind of nice to live in. Now, Florida's beautiful, too. But there are things I can do in this state that I could never do in Florida. There are things in this state I can do that I could never get away with in Florida. And that's saying something with Florida man over there. I forgot to weld that crap. I need bulletproof glass for those stupid lights, really. Alright, got that. There, now I have a light to illuminate everything with. Why did I only grab one? Hold on a minute, folks. I'll be right back. And with that, my lunch break is officially over. Yeah, so I think the next live stream, which will be Tuesday, we'll paint this baby up and name it. I'll name it Crab Mark 1. We may do something else with it. The ship, I need names for the ship. The big ship, the red ship. So, I may put a thing up, I may put a community post, and you guys can name the big ship. I was going for the Phoenix, but y'all may come up with something a little bit better. Anyway, the crab officially I think is probably going to be done. We've got these side points to protect it because I think the major place it's going to get hit is in the sides. But it's got so much stuff on the bottom of it. And if it works good, I may do a full grinder ship. This is just a multi-purpose utility ship. I may do a full grinder ship and see how that works out. What's the difference between corruption and legality? Legality, everyone's agreeing to the laws. Corruption is they're usually ignoring the laws. There's not much difference between corruption and criminal. It's just one group of people has enough authority and respect to get away with it, and the other ones are just kind of doing everything they can to get by. Yeah, the difference is who's in power. If you're, if, let me tell you, if it would be corruption, if the Crips were in charge of the government, it is a crime because they are not. That is the difference. That's what a lot of people don't realize. But yeah, like I said, it's sometimes it's easier to deal with the guys on the street than it is the guys at the top. Because guys, here's the thing: the worst thing about corruption, corruption, in my opinion, is far worse than a criminal element, than it is having a corrupt element in your society. Because the criminal element of your society, at the very least, they understand you. Okay, uh, me and the Bloods and the Crips, and I use them as an example because everybody knows who they are. Uh, the Bloods and the Crips, there's a bit of a moment there where me being a working class citizen and them trying to survive, we understand each other to an extent. But there's a part with people who are up at the top. There's a point where you get so much money you forget what people under anyone lower class of you are understanding. You lose understanding for people down below you. And at that point, those people become even more heartless. Like a Crip, here's the thing, a Crip may take money. They may try to rob you, but if they find some kind of common, they'll find some common ground. They may say, I've heard of police interactions where a guy robbed a dude, realized, I mean, battle, just bones hard gang member, realized that the guy needed the money to take care of his family, turned around, come back, and gave him the money back because he didn't want it, because he understood the situation he's in. People at the top, man, they don't understand shit. They don't understand. They'll kill your whole family off just being an asshole by just sheer ignorance, because they're like, well, you should have done this better. You should have done that better. Yep, fun things. Anyway, I gotta go, folks. It's been fun talking. We've been doing this. We got on some weird subjects doing this little live stream. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, stay safe, stay frosty. I will see you guys. We'll be doing this again Tuesday afternoon about 12 o'clock. Hope you guys will be there. And hopefully I'll have more regular content. And see you guys then. Anyway, I am Badger Wild saying stay safe,